Welcome to episode 270 of the official Gamestitch Podcast. I'm Ryan Walton, and as always, I'm joined by Dan Reamer.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Now, normally, that would be enough. But normally, we're not announcing a new show. So, please welcome Tristyn to the podcast, Dan's nephew and co-host of the brand new show, Generation Cult.
Hello.
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 This is what we do.
Dan is the...
This has been episode... No.
I should say that Dan is the other host.
I am the other host of Generation Cult.
Mm-hmm.
That's
but
correct.
I'm the better one.
But you're the better one?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Right off the bat, I like that attitude.
Whatever. Yeah. See? That's that millennial bullshit coming through.
So, for everyone who listens to this podcast and has no idea what the show is or who you are, Tristyn, because they don't read the newsletter or they're not a Patreon, a patron over at patreon.com/Gamestitch, tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I'm 15, and I'm pretty mature for my age. You would agree, right?
Yeah. 95% of the time. Yeah.
We won't talk about the other 5%.
Exactly.
But, yeah, I've always loved movies of all times, and I'm kind of a geek with movies, so it's fun to talk about them.
Yeah, he's been, for years, since he's been probably 2 or 3 years old, Tristyn's been my movie buddy. He's the guy that, anytime I went to the movies, I took him with me. We went and saw movies. Over time, he's grown to really appreciate movies like I do. So I thought, do you want me to go into the specifics of how this all came about?
Sure, we could tell the story. So before we do that,
Sure.
We have for a long time talked about launching other things here, and maybe even made some promises that we didn't follow through on. You're welcome, everybody.
Yeah, that's what we bring to the table.
Part of the reason that happened is because we wanted to make sure when we move forward with something, it was something that we first enjoyed doing, and second, we thought people would enjoy listening to. And I'm excited that this is what we landed on. I'm excited that we're getting closer to being able to show off a real product, a real podcast. And why don't you explain the idea and how the show works, and then maybe some backstory.
Sure. Generation Cult is going to be a podcast where I choose movies from my prime, 70s, 80s, 90s, and we watch them, and I invite / force Tristyn to watch them. And since we come from 2 different generations, I'm Generation X. He's one of the millennials, I guess you would say, born in 2002.
One of them.
Yeah.
Just one of them.
One of the millennials.
There's
One
a
of the
couple of
millennials.
You said it like it's a bad thing, though. One of the millennials. Like there's a handful of them out there. You found one.
That's not what it means. Everybody rags on the millennials. I don't believe that. I think they're fine. I think they just got different things going on than what we had to worry about. The people that rag on... Here's the thing. The people that rag on millennials, these are the people who are constantly... they give away their money to a Nigerian prince 6 times a year. So I don't know if they're the guys whose opinions you really want to trust on that. But anyway, we'll get past that. So what we're going to do is as we know, they are obviously 2 different generations, even to the point where there's a generation in between, Generation Y. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch these movies, or Tristyn's going to be forced to watch them, however you want to put it. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to give the 2 different generations views of the movies. Movies have changed pretty drastically over the course of the last 20, 30 years. And I think that's going to be a very interesting juxtaposition, saying how this movie that I loved when I was, 10, 12 years old, and Tristyn being just 3 years older than that might bring to the table, what is this bullshit? I just think it's going to be a really interesting. It's going to be a real interesting thing that's going on there. I think that whole idea is interesting, and I think it's something that hasn't been done before. So I think it's going to bring something new to the table while still playing along with something that I love, that Tristyn loves. He's a video game, movie, TV geek, just like me. So I think it's going to be really, really interesting.
So we're talking each episode is going to be one movie with two different generational perspectives.
Yes. Essentially what we're going to do is we'll be pretty much going over the plot of the movie, throwing in some facts, some trivia, that kind of stuff. And then at the end, we'll probably bring that all together, and we'll each give, I'll talk about these movies that how they affected me when I was a kid, and Tristyn will be talking about how it affected him as now. So I think it's I'm excited. I'm really excited.
Yeah, me too. Definitely.
Yeah, so you guys are in the testing phase.
We are
currently, and I've had the opportunity to listen to some of that, and it's definitely fun to hear someone so removed from the movie and someone who loves the movie. I'm going to say too much. Discuss
Tristyn,
what it's like to watch it today.
About you like that?
I don't think he's talking about me.
So it's very a unique way to approach a classic cult movie, and again, that's Generation Cult, and we'll have more details soon.
We are in the testing phase. It's getting worked on. Yeah, but it is 100% definitely a go. There just isn't a set timetable yet.
And we wanted to have Tristyn on the podcast so that there's no stranger danger when the podcast comes out and you don't understand who this person is.
So we understand how that can work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You never talk to strangers.
Nope.
Ever.
Nope.
Even as an adult.
Don't take candy and stay away from panel vans.
Mm-hmm. Unless you really like the panel van and or candy.
Two great tastes that taste great together.
Wow. Wow.
I don't know what to say to that
What
one.
just happened? Most people probably don't. It's fine.
So the rest of this podcast is going to function as a normal podcast.
Yes.
As normal as our podcast function. So it should be like all the rest. Only with 3 people on it. And before we leave this topic, one last fun fact about millennials. I am a millennial. Did you know that?
No, you're not.
Yeah, I am. Look up the dates.
Huh.
I fall under that category. I know that's how I feel every time I see it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You must be like I'm at the tail end of Generation X, so you must be at the very, very beginning of the millennial. You sure you're not the end of Generation Y?
You can find like a few obscure time ranges where it says I'm not, but on most of the easy to find Google searches, it lists. Yeah, it clearly lists me as a millennial. Which is I got mixed feelings about. I don't necessarily care or mind, but people talk really bad about millennials just in general.
They do. And actually, now I think about it, Tristyn might almost be whatever comes after millennials. Now that I think about it, because he was born in 2002, and aren't most of the millennials 87 to...
I think it's 85
to 99 or something.
I don't know. Yeah, you may not even be a millennial. You may have to rethink what it's called.
May have to, yeah.
Yeah, that's some. I don't know.
I guess I just assumed you're a millennial. You might be Generation Z.1.
I hope that's what it's called for sure. Z.1. It rolls right off the tongue. Well, welcome to the podcast. If this is your first time here, remember this podcast posts every Monday, 6 a.m. Central Standard Time on podcast services around the world. And if you love it so much you can't stand it, you can head over to patreon.com/Gamestitch and support the show over there. If not, that's cool too. It'll always be free. It'll always come to your ears each week.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you play this week, Dan?
Ooh. Well, as you've already heard, we're putting together a new podcast.
So it doesn't take any time, does it?
I really didn't have a whole lot of time to play at all. I've been working on stuff. Excuse me. I played a little bit of Ratchet and Clank, a little bit of Rocket League, and I feel like that's it. Like a very little bit of both of those.
It's so hard to tell how much you play of anything because you don't turn your PS4 off.
Oh, quiet down.
So you either played a little bit of Ratchet and Clank or 12 hours based off of your PSN.
I may have left the PS4 on for that one time. Normally I put it into rest mode.
You do much better than you used to.
Yeah, it used to just be on for days.
You used to take vacations and leave it on.
Days.
Like you just didn't care about it at all. You would just leave it on.
I do much better now, but just a little bit. When I had just like 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes to kill, I played some Ratchet and Clank, and then we played some Rocket League one night, I think, you and I. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure that's it for me.
What about you, Tristyn?
Oh, God. Where should I start? Well, at the beginning of the week, I played a little bit of Kingdom Come Deliverance and finished that up. And
Talk to me about that game.
It's one of the best games I've ever played. The story is great, but it does, especially right when it came out, it had some issues, definitely. People said it was too realistic, and for the most part, I didn't agree with that, except for the save system, which was... I don't even want to talk about it. It was pretty bad.
That game's interesting. I would like to play that game. I don't think I have the time to play that game.
I recommend it, definitely.
So you finished it? You beat it?
Yep.
About how many hours?
Close to 100.
Yeah.
Kind of got lost.
I can't play that game. I don't have 100 hours. It looks fun. It looks great. I don't know if fun's the right word. It looks interesting to me. And I think I would have fun with it. But yeah, I don't have 100 hours. It keeps me from playing a lot of stuff.
Apparently you can't save for the first 10 hours. I know you weren't going to talk about it, but we talked about it last night, so I'm going to... Apparently the only way you can save is to drink a potion, which costs like 100 coin.
Or to sleep.
Or sleep.
You have to steal somebody's bed to do that. And they don't like that.
Oh, I'm not playing a game I can't save. Absolutely not.
It doesn't, like, set you out into the world until, like, 4 or 5 hours, probably.
No, there's no way. 4 or 5 hours is probably all the time I have. You're telling me I can't even get out of, like, the house. The compound that I'm in. There's no way. The game looks... I think the game is interesting, though. I've heard really nothing but good things about it either.
Yeah. They're constantly working on issues, so that's a good thing.
Oh, yeah, maybe it sounds like there's a big one they need to work on.
Like the save system?
It's called autosave, yeah. It's time to implement that.
Yep.
Sorry to derail you there, though. So what else have you played?
Because you play a lot. You're a PC gamer, too.
Yeah, that's
so you're
I'm just learning all kinds of things I didn't know.
He's constantly cycling through stuff. Actually, he's a big fan. We talked about it yesterday. Side note. He's a big fan of, oh crap, what's that game?
Stardew Valley?
Yeah.
Oh, Stardew Valley's amazing.
I love it.
That game is so good.
I think I have like 250 hours in it.
Yeah, so we're at different places in that game for sure. But I really love Stardew. I love everything that game stands for.
It's great.
Yeah. Dan, you're missing out.
So I hear. I'm good.
What else did I play? Escape from Tarkov.
Yeah, people loving that game.
I suck at it. I'll admit. I get pretty mad. I jump in for like a game and I'm like, yeah, okay.
All done.
I
feel you. Been there.
Squad. I play a lot of Squad and Counter-Strike. And then RimWorld too, a little bit. When I get mad at all the other ones, I just play that.
Apparently gamer rage is a thing that runs in the family, by the way.
Right. Yeah, just so you know, you got about 30 more years of that before you can start calming down any. Dan's just now starting to relax a little bit when he plays.
I don't know.
It still depends on the day. It depends on the day, but yeah, he used to be much more violent with his rage. I remember back when he used to break controllers.
Oh, yeah.
That was a thing that happened a lot.
I've done it.
Man.
What about you?
I miss the days where I could play like that.
I know, me too.
That sounded fantastic.
Those when you just got home from school and knocked out a couple chores and then got left alone to just play for the rest of the night till you went
till
to bed.
Dinner time. You came out, you ate your food faster than is healthy, and then just go straight back to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I miss those days.
Or weekends when you had nothing to do.
14 hours straight, no shower. Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
So I played a little bit of Rocket. I had a weird week.
You did.
I played a little bit of Rocket League, and then I played Pinball FX VR. I don't think I talked about that last week. You and I talked about it. I don't think I talked about it. I might have talked about it on the podcast. I don't really remember.
Did. You did. You did talk about it on the podcast.
So I played a little bit of regular Zen Pinball, and then I played more Pinball FX VR. Then I played Robinson the Journey.
Which you've been waiting, I don't know if it's been patiently or not, but you've been waiting to get into this.
I've pretty much had that game since launch. I bought it like when it came out and have had it this entire time. And it just, I don't know why I kept skipping over it, but there's just, I don't know. I think my perception of that game is totally different than what that game actually is. I for some reason thought it was going to be like a VR point-and-click adventure type deal. Mm-hmm. It's not at all that. It's like an open world, almost like a No Man's Sky vibe.
You just wandering around discovering the world?
Discovering, different creatures. Now, there's a story. It's much more narrative in the sense that you're working from a start to a finish.
Okay.
Unlike No Man's Sky. But yeah, there's wow, having a stroke. There's creatures that you have to scan. Very similar to No Man's Sky. You'll walk up, you point a thing out. I mean, there's a weird little mini game where you have to like match the dots without touching the red ones, and when you do so, you scan that creature. There's not very many creatures in the game. The idea, though, is that you scan them multiple times and get them all to enough information on all of them that they change the menu from blue to gold when you get enough of them. And then solving the puzzles to get from area to area is really what the game is about. Because that, as you go from one area to the next is how you advance the story. You're finding these Higgs units. And every time you find one, you advance the story through the recordings of these old robots. So for a little backstory, basically, your ship crashes on a planet called Tyson 3. And you are the lone survivor, and you don't know what happened because you were a child, and you're basically piecing together this story. I say you're a child. I have no idea what age you were, but you're piecing together this story. I think you were a kid. You're piecing together this story based off of these old recordings on these crashed robots that you find. If you've seen anything on the video, you also know that the world, Tyson 3, it looks like Earth back in the prehistoric days.
Nice.
So
it's my favorite Earth.
Really beautiful environment, but there are dinosaur type things there. So some of them, everything is familiar to something that we have a dinosaur, something that, if it's a long neck, but they're different over there on that planet.
On this like alternative universe? Yeah.
It's basically an alternative Earth, even though they mention Earth. But yeah, I thought it would be I thought there would be like scary elements. It's nothing like that. It is just an exploration game.
It sounds right up your alley, actually.
It was super good. So I beat it. I finally beat it. I played it really slow. So when I look back at the game, it probably took me somewhere around 6 or 7 hours to complete it. Mm-hmm. I could probably beat it in an hour now that I know what I'm doing.
Oh, wow.
Because a lot of that time was me just wandering around and looking at everything and checking all the creatures out. And sometimes I would just stand around and just watch.
So
Go ahead.
This is like the second or third game you said this about, where it took me like 7-8 hours, but I could probably beat it now once I know what I'm doing in 1 and 2. So is that a major? Does that majorly affect the replayability of these games?
Maybe. I don't know how much. So I'm torn with this game. So I'm 80% on the trophies after playing through it.
Oh, so you're thinking about platinum it?
But it's not the kind of game. I wouldn't mind spending a little more time in that world, but I don't know if that cheapens the experience any if I just go back in to just try to clean up trophies. Because it's a very like organic and playful world that you're kind of discovering. I mean, it's almost like being a kid. And I think that's what I mean when I say I could play through it really fast. And I also think that's a gimmick of VR, is the first time you play anything in VR, you don't understand it on purpose.
Okay.
So, you know, figuring out where to go, you know, there were some puzzles. I didn't cheat at all. There was one point where I was about to give up and go to YouTube, but I was trying my best to be an adult and figure it out on my own. But there's probably one puzzle where for 45 minutes I just wandered around going, I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Those are my favorite.
And then there was one part where there was one part where I advanced further than I was supposed to, thinking that that's where I was supposed to go, and then couldn't do anything because I didn't do the step before that. And so that probably, because I went back and forth like 3 times because I still missing the small thing I needed to do. So there's a lot of time like that where I wasted time that was unnecessary as I was trying to figure it out myself. So I really, 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 really like that game. It's amazing it was put out by a studio that was not paying its employees and in the middle of looking like it might shut down, even though they didn't. So it's Crytek, and it's really neat. It's a walking simulator exploration, but there's something amazing about standing at the feet of a long neck.
I'm looking up.
In scale, right, that you just can't get playing a normal game. And it also does this weird thing where when you click on your Higgs unit that's with you, it zooms out and shows you everything really small, like it's taken from a drone. But it's like a high quality model of the entire world you're in, and I could just sit in that thing all day. Because stuff still moves when you're in that model. You can see yourself, but everything is just crazy detailed, even zoomed out like that. You can see kind of like how they built the world. Which I think is really neat. So I suggest that game. I would buy it digital. For some reason, the prices on the physical copies are out of control for that game.
Is it hard to find physical?
Yeah, so it was really hard to find because it was in the middle of Crytek's drama.
Right.
So they put it out, then immediately stopped making them, and I think I've seen them on eBay as high as $70 for a copy.
Oof.
And it was a $30 or $40 game. I think it was $40. So just buy it from the store. The PSN, and I think it's on Vive now, or Oculus, or maybe both. And I think it's on Oculus, and I think it uses the motion controllers over there. On PS4, you have to use the DualShock, which I do not like.
Yeah, I know you're not a fan of that.
Yeah, the Move controller, especially for a game where you have hands that you're controlling,
right?
It makes a lot of sense, but to navigate, you have to use the joystick, so I get it.
Well, it probably allows you to do actual walking through the world instead of that weird teleportation thing.
Yeah. He also walks extremely slow. There's no run button. Oh, yeah, I didn't care because I'm looking at everything.
Oh, there's got to be a run, though. I got to be able to run.
No, there's no run. I would love to see myself play this game because I probably look like I'm just peeked into Narnia every time you see me playing because I look at everything.
Yeah, it sounds really cool. I don't know if I ever get VR, I think I'd be into it, but I have to get VR first. So right now I'm not into it.
Yeah, it would be expensive if you just wanted to play that game. But if you have VR and that game is available, I suggest it. It's a cool game.
Fair enough.
Let's jump into some news.
Why don't we?
I pulled a lot of stories. Some of them have some stuff that we'll probably talk about. Some don't. This first story is sad, and I'm also excited to, again, see 2 different perspectives on this story. So Toys R Us is going to close the remaining 800 stores that it has left.
No more Toys R Us in the U.S.
Founded some 70 years ago. And some would say the only remaining real toy store out there.
Yeah.
Is going to close, and the shutdown of the stores will result in the loss of 33,000 American jobs.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. Now, I think you said when we talked about the story initially, or maybe we were just chatting, that yours was closing, right?
Yeah, I've had one that's closed already, and now there's another one closing in another town.
Yeah. So obviously this will get everything that was left, which is the one that we have, too.
Right.
So, special guest appearance by your dog.
Yeah, always.
At least she didn't come in here today.
Yeah, at least she didn't come. Last night she came in when we were in here. She just
I heard that on the podcast.
came in on the test.
Yeah, on the test episode. I heard
I'm about to go yell at the dog.
That's fine. We'll carry the show.
You guys can talk about the
We'll carry the show. This is behind the scenes.
Toys R Us,
live.
and I'm gonna go.
So, for me, Toys R Us, that's like my whole childhood. I remember that store fondly from when I was a kid, but so you're younger now. I feel like Toys R Us not as amazing probably for you as it was for me.
No, it really wasn't. I've probably only went there 3 times.
Yeah, see, that's when I was growing. Like, I used to like dream of going to Toys R Us. That's where all the toys were. But like Amazon, also not a thing when I was a kid. So it just didn't work the same. Like, that's how you got a toy. You had to go to like Walmart or Kmart or Toys R Us.
Yeah.
And you always wanted to go to Toys R Us because that's where most of them were at.
Yeah, like I said, I probably only went there 3 times, and I mean, it was cool, but I was like, I can really get this anywhere if I really wanted it.
So this story means nothing to you.
Not really.
It's like a piece of my childhood is dying, closing, and for you, you're like, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, it's so different because they're just, especially like video games, your other stores had a really small selection. So Toys R Us is the place that you could go, and they had all the games. And I just remember like looking forward to going to town with my dad on the weekends and going to Toys R Us. It was always like our last stop, but we would finally go in and look at all the games there, and you would take this little ticket, and then you would take the ticket to like the register. You would buy the ticket, then you would take that ticket to a little redemption counter and actually get your game. And those are some of my fondest memories.
That's some old school shit right there. I remember that.
So this story hurts your heart a little bit too, though, right?
Mine? Yeah. When I was a kid, they had Toys R Us, and then they had Kitty City. I think I've talked about it before. That was,
yeah, you did.
That was more of a local place. But Toys R Us, was around. And when you were a kid, it was a place too. Like, if you got a chance to go there, because it wasn't close to where we lived, because we're rural. So you had to make a special trip into that area, into the city, to go to that stuff. And there wasn't all the expressways and stuff that there was now. Like, you were literally taking like regular roads there. So it took like twice as long as it does now. So on those special occasions when you got to go to the toy store and just hang out, those were good days. Yeah.
So a couple bullet points on this. Toys R Us also operates in China and Canada, or Asia and Canada, I should say. And the company's Asia business is apparently still its most profitable and will remain open as of right now.
Yep.
So it's an end of something amazing, end of my youth here. So I don't know. It's a sad story. David Brandon, who is the current CEO, said that sluggish holiday sales were to blame for tough times, but the writing was on the wall. They filed for bankruptcy protection last year.
Let me tell you something about Toys R Us. Toys R Us was, when I was a kid, it was awesome. Over time, they became like Kmart.
Yeah. As somebody who still frequents the Toys R Us, it's kind of rough.
They're rough and dirty and...
Yeah. Dim lighting, the same lighting that Kmart installed, like they were buying used bulbs.
Right. And they didn't keep the store very, stocked very well, or very clean. There was never enough people around. Like, if you needed help, it was too bad because
Right.
you weren't going to find somebody to help you. It was very much like a dying dream
Yeah.
for like years before it now has actually died. But
So what'll be really interesting is the ripple effect from this, especially with companies like Mattel and Hasbro. I would, and Lego even. I would dare guess that even though Toys R Us has not been healthy for a while, those companies still do a ton of business through those 800 locations.
yeah, I would imagine so. Honestly, I don't think it's going to hurt them that much.
I think it will. Not Lego. Lego's on a different level.
I don't think it'll hurt the others either. Walmart is the highest retailer of toys, and they're not even a toy store.
Right, but you just took away a piece of the pie. I mean, in theory, these people will just go somewhere else to buy it.
Right.
So it shouldn't, I guess. Short term, I can see it affecting stock prices.
Yeah, but over the long term, those toy companies will be fine.
It should. Yeah. They've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
I would dare say everything in that store that's plastic is owned by Lego, Mattel, or Hasbro. They pretty much make all the toys.
Yeah.
Fisher Price, is that still a thing? Or is that an umbrella under one of those other ones?
Who knows? I haven't played with Fisher. I haven't played with toys since I was...
That's not true.
I still see them in Walmart.
Fisher Price toys?
Yeah.
Okay. Fisher Price still a thing.
Not as much, though.
I wonder if it's a thing under one of those, though, like if it's a Hasbro joint.
Oh, could be. I have no idea. Sounds like some investigative journalism is in order.
Let us know.
We don't do that.
@game_Stitch on Twitter.
Someone has to just tell us.
Next story, that's a sad one. Also, I'd love to hear your stories about Toys R Us if it's something that matters to you, or if you're like Tristyn and you couldn't care less.
Yeah, it was like Blockbuster for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. What? Who cares?
Yeah.
It's so weird because when I think about the movie store, that's a special memory
Oh my.
for me.
Yeah. We talked about it on our test podcast last night.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a special place for me. Fun fact, I bought a game yesterday, Outlaw Golf for the Xbox, but it's the Blockbuster exclusive edition that had 9 more holes.
Oh no.
I know.
Where'd you
I'm
find
pretty
that?
excited about it. They give me a 5 here. They have a clothing store, and for some reason they sell, which I've talked about the store before. It's one of my favorite places.
Uh-huh.
But the clothing store, for some reason, has the media in the back, so it's got like DVDs and movies, VHS, DVDs, VHS, and games, and they're all $1 each every day. And so I found that little gem there yesterday. I also got NHL Face-Off for the PlayStation in one of the big giant cases, like the tall cardboard.
The tall giant cardboard ones?
Before they went giant and plastic, and then went eventually jewel case, as you know it. So yeah, that's
awesome. Yeah,
Blockbuster's still
You're
out
not much
there.
of a store guy, are you, for stuff? You do all your stuff online?
Mostly, yeah. I mean, my games, I have Steam, I have the PlayStation
Yeah,
Store.
you do. Yeah.
Steam is
digitally.
I feel confident in saying that Steam is the only reason PC games still exist.
Yes.
I'd have to agree with you.
That market was almost dead, and then Steam changed everything.
They walked in and said, "Here we go, boys."
And then stuff like Summer Sale makes the PC market so attractive.
Humble bundles where you get 25 games for $4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's alive and well. Now, Twitch Prime now giving away a lot of games too.
I've seen that.
Yeah, they're giving away like 4 or 5 games. I think Superhot is actually free this month on Twitch Prime. Devil May Cry.
Mm-hmm.
There's like 2 or 3. And then there's tons of like free stuff you get in game. Like they're pushing Twitch Prime hard.
Yeah, they are. They want that piece of the pie.
Which, if you're already an Amazon Prime member, Twitch Prime is included.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's not separate if you have Amazon Prime. You just have to go link them. And then you get all the perks without paying any more money.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I did it last week. It's pretty great. I didn't get any of the games, but I got the free stuff. I got the stuff for Paladins. It's like 15 crates.
So how do you get the games? Is it a digital code?
So you actually have to install, I think it's like a Twitch Prime app. So I think you actually install that and you launch the game straight from it.
Oh.
It's like its own launcher.
That's weird.
Yeah. I don't want to play anything on the computer. I'm not that hard up yet.
Right.
But I am claiming all of them so that I can go back.
They're mine.
Yeah. Yeah, I was planting my flag in them. Next story.
Yeah.
The Division 2 has been announced.
Yeah.
And so has some late game updates for The Division.
Yeah.
The story's really on here for Dan.
Yeah. I'm the only person who likes The Division. I know. That's not true. That's not true.
Do you like The Division, Tristyn?
I don't really care for it.
So you're the only person on this podcast that likes it.
Yeah, well, so what? I'm also the coolest person on this podcast, so.
Talk to me about The Division 2. I know you're excited.
We don't know anything yet.
We know that it's coming.
We know that it's coming.
That you'll be able to transfer some progress from the original game.
Yeah, we don't know how. Don't know.
We know we'll learn more on E3. There's all these fun facts that you could have given all these people who love The Division so much, and you're not giving them to them right now.
I might actually get it.
You might get The Division 2?
Yeah.
You should play The Division. You should play the first one. Especially now. It's fixed. It had some issues when it first came out. I still loved it. But apparently Ubisoft has done the Ubisoft thing that they do and now made it a really good game. So Garrett and I are actually talking about getting back into it.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, man, I need more time. I need to take a month of vacation and just do stuff that's not work related or podcast related and just play games.
I wonder if you'll love it as much. You've been away for a long time now.
I have. I really, really liked the way the campaign in that worked. And it does bother me that they haven't moved forward with that more. Which is why I'm excited for The Division 2, because I feel like it's going to have that campaign. Endgame stuff is fun, but it's not why I play games. I play games, I like that experience that I get playing through a campaign. And so this is the biggest reason I'm excited for Division 2, other than the fact that I love The Division, the first one. But I'm really excited to see what they do to expand on that story.
Yeah, so they also announced that support's not ending for the original game. Apparently, they're going to have new global events. There's an Xbox One X patch to provide 4K support that's coming in April. And in June, the game will also receive something called Crests, which are achievements that will unlock rewards in The Division 2.
Yes.
So it sounds like that's the tie-in. You'll do things that unlock stuff in there. And then I'm assuming maybe the way maybe some of your stats or some of your gear will move over.
Yeah.
But not everything.
Probably not. So I'm excited for it because I like the Division, so.
Yeah. You'll get all the details you want at E3. No list of platforms, but you can safely assume Xbox One, PS4, and PC.
Yep.
And I'm assuming this game will be out this year.
I would imagine it's probably, it might be February of next year.
It's a pretty nasty holiday. I think that's why Days Gone is delayed. I don't think that game's not ready. I think that game's not good, and Sony just wanted to get it away from everything else. You can't launch with Call of Duty, Battlefield, Red Dead. You just can't if you suck.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
Just had to get it away. Just get it into 2019. Let it be its own thing. I hope it's great, but I'm afraid it's not, and I'm afraid they're just trying to get it away.
We'll throw it out at the beginning of February, and it'll be the only game that comes out that month, and everyone will buy it.
We'll launch in January. Nothing launches in January.
Right.
Or whatever it is. That's not the only announcement we got this week. Shadow of the Tomb Raider has been revealed for PS4, Xbox One, and PC with a release date this time.
Another one I'm excited for.
I've never played.
Me too. I can't wait
Tomb
for this
Raider
one.
Game.
What's that?
Never played Tomb Raider.
Any of them?
Any of them.
So the old ones won't be fun to go back to,
No.
but you should really play the new Tomb Raider.
The new ones are fun.
Especially Rise of the Tomb Raider. That game is excellent.
Rise of the Tomb Raider is excellent, but Tomb Raider I think you need to play. It's one of the few times when I would say play Tomb Raider first, the rebooted Tomb Raider, because I think out of these 3 games is you're really going to see a journey to Laura becoming Laura.
You could just rage quit the first one like I did.
Like you
then
did.
Jump into the second one and play it to completion because it was great.
When did you rage quit it? Was that The Rock?
Oh, like 30 minutes in.
That's when The Rock falls on you?
Yeah, it happened like 4 times in a row, and I was like, I don't want to play quick time events. I just shut it off and never played it again. I still have it. I've just never played it again.
Man, you're missing out. It's good.
But I freaking love the second one.
Did you finish it?
The first one also... Oh, yeah. The first one also felt a lot more stealthy to me. I felt like I was being encouraged to sneak because she wasn't... I don't want to say as strong, but she didn't feel like she was as used to that lifestyle as she does in the second.
There was
a little more vulnerable.
Some stealth, but you didn't have to play that way.
I felt that way.
That was the weird...
I don't like to feel that way.
That was the weird conundrum with Tomb Raider is she's like new to this, but she's got no problem just breaking necks.
Right.
Like there's one kill where her very first kill it like affects her, and then that's just like cool. I'm in. Snap, snap, boom, bang, blow people up.
I think that's how that works. Once you do the first, you're fine.
When you're past it, yeah.
Yeah, I think that checks out. So we're getting Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which had been leaked forever ago on a train. Mm-hmm. Leaked in air quotes because I don't know. Seems staged to me. But anyways, we're getting it September 14th on the PS4, Xbox One, and PC, all day and date.
Yes.
Rather than being a timed exclusive for the Xbox like the previous game.
Mm-hmm.
So this will be a defining moment as she becomes the Tomb Raider. I don't know what that means, but that's what Square Enix said.
Yeah, but it's finally get to the older, more experienced Lara Croft that we know.
She's Nate Drake now. She's a treasure hunter.
She'll be a treasure hunter when she's done. She won't be Nate Drake. She'll be Lara Croft. But yeah, they could hang out.
I mean, the games will follow that similar vibe.
Yeah, they could hang out.
Yeah, the vibe of the original Tomb Raider, the Indiana Jones vibe.
You know what? I mean, I understand the comparisons, but to me, they are very different games.
They're different, but the idea... So in Tomb Raider and Rise, they're very different because those are not about treasures.
Right.
There's a much deeper meaning in why she's doing what she's doing. In most cases, Nate's just trying to get some money.
Right. He's... Right.
Which feels okay also. But I think if they're stepping her into the role of the Tomb Raider, as they put it, I feel like the games could get more similar than they are or have been.
I don't know. I feel like all of the... I think with the reboot, you're going to see a lot more of the mommy and daddy issues, and I think she's going to be more of like the good guy Lara Croft. Not so much. It's not so much about her getting the stuff from the tomb. It's making sure it stays out of the bad people's hands.
And I'm also interested to see how it feels after playing The Lost Legacy.
I'll be fine with that. I wasn't a fan of The Lost Legacy. We know that.
Yeah,
or not,
really
not The Lost
that.
Legacy. No, that's not the one. Sorry. I was thinking of Pirates or Drake's End.
Oh, 4.
Yeah.
Lost Legacy I thought was really good, and
was.
Chloe, similar style to the new Lara Croft, I would say.
A little more jaded, a little more cynical, but yeah.
So, I'm interested to see how similar those in particular feel.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Yeah. So, September 14th, we're not far away.
Yeah, we are.
You feel like that's far away?
It's fucking March, yeah.
That's not that far.
September's far away.
March is like half over. Yesterday's St.
I don't know,
Paddy's
you get
Day.
to drive in September. Is it far away?
Yeah, no, I hope not.
Also, no guarantee you get to drive, right?
Right.
You could just fail that thing. Have you taken the test yet?
No.
Up here,
Yeah, you could just
up
fail.
here it's 16. You
Yeah, you could drive at like 12 down here.
I know you can. Because you guys don't care who you kill.
That's right. That's what we do. So moving on. SoulCalibur 6 will have a new character, and it's the Witcher's Geralt. I hear this name said like 50,000 different ways.
In the game, they pronounce it Geralt.
I'm just trying to cover all the bases. Geralt of Rivia.
Yes.
Rivia. He'll be a playable character in SoulCalibur 6, and more so than that, he's actually on the cover of the game, sharing the spotlight. So
this stuff doesn't do anything for me, but
yeah, I mean, but some people like SoulCalibur.
I know, but I like, even if I was a fighting game fan, I don't know that.
Oh yeah, you'd love this tie-in if you were a SoulCalibur or a fighting game guy. You'd be like, hell yeah, just like you were when the Turtles came to Injustice 2.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, okay.
He'll be able to utilize his swordplay along with some ability-enhancing potions and combat magic, in addition to having the character. His English voice actor and signature stage will also be in the game. So, I don't know why this story doesn't list the voice actor. I didn't just skip over the name. It's not in here. Whoever voiced him is voicing him for this, too.
Maybe he's keeping it a secret.
No. That's not how you get. That's not how you get more work. It's like you don't want people to know who you were.
Maybe he doesn't want more work. Maybe he's good. Maybe he just wants to sit around and finally play video games all day for 14 hours like he used to.
Sit on that fat stack of VO money from The Witcher. I don't think that's how that works. Here's another story I know you'll be really excited to hear. Sega teased a new Sonic racing game.
Yay! Next.
The tweet can be seen on their Twitter. It features the word top secret along with a brief 22-second long video clip, which is a close-up of the car's headlights and what sounds like an engine revving. Now, you can poo-poo this story, but I'm telling you, Sonic Racing, pretty good.
Okay. It's not. Okay.
Never played
It's pretty good for a car racer.
Okay.
Have you ever played it, Tristyn?
Nope.
It's pretty good for a car racer.
You keep saying that.
I mean, I'm just saying. I'll allow this story because I think if you played it, you'd be like, you know what, it's not bad.
I mean, you'll allow it. You pulled it. Of course you'll allow it.
I think it's an okay story. Until we get Mario Kart on all platforms, I think this is a fine stand-in.
Fair enough.
He is right about that.
Yeah, because we're not going to get Mario Kart.
No, that's going to be on
platforms.
Nintendo stuff only.
Yeah, so I feel like this is a good stand-in. But Sonic and All-Stars Racing's Transform was pretty good. I played that one. Sea of Thieves. We're close. We're on the doorstep. When you're listening to this, it's out tomorrow. If you're listening on launch day of this podcast. Mm-hmm. It's out tomorrow.
If you're listening on podcast launch day, Sea of Thieves launch day is tomorrow.
Yeah. That's how close it is. And as they've been leading up, they've been dropping all kinds of stuff along the way. No secrets left in this game, I feel like.
No, they are not leaving much to the imagination.
I think there's probably a lot of secrets, but they're unveiling a lot. But they've showed off now a new trailer where they show a Kraken battle, which is very exciting to me. It's been hinted. They found it in the details when they were digging through what's in the game. There was some mention somewhere of a Kraken. It appears the Kraken is real and that you can in some way engage with the Kraken. I don't know if it's a story portion or if it's just something that can happen. I hope it's not something that just happens because it'll happen to us all the time.
Yeah, that's how it'll work. You're right.
Yeah, because we have bad luck. I'm so excited about Sea of Thieves. I know that Thomas can't get enough of Sea of Thieves. We're gonna have a pretty good crew, I think. Howard's getting it, you're getting it, I'm getting it, Thomas is getting it. I know that Matt's still talking about maybe getting it on the PC and seeing if he can hook up with us on there. It's only 4 to a crew, so we potentially have a couple crews rolling. I'm excited.
We're going to go up against each other?
No.
The
We're going up against the world. Booty. We'll go up against the world together, because see, we could tag team people.
Yeah. Oh, we're just going to be two ships rolling in the night?
I think so.
Pillaging?
Yep. Plundering? Yep. Just pirating. Good old-fashioned pirating.
I'm down.
Mm-hmm. March 20th. Remember, it is part of Games Pass if you sign up for Games Pass for $10 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. prison escape co-op game, A Way Out. We talked about it. We talked about really wanting to play it, but we don't know if we're going to get it.
I'm definitely getting it.
You're getting it?
Definitely.
It looks so great.
It does look so great.
So the game's director has dropped some bullet points for us. If you don't remember,
are these bullet points?
Well, there's like 2 bullet points in here.
Yeah.
There's a lot, but there's like 2 that matter.
The rest is just random shit he said.
For those that may not remember or haven't seen it, he's the one that lost his mind on the Video Game Awards.
Yes.
And dropped way too many F-bombs for the Video Awards, and definitely for Greg Keeley.
Greg was incredibly uncomfortable that whole interview. It was wonderful.
Yeah, but he's a whimsical, likable
dude,
adult man-child.
Yeah.
And I can appreciate that. Who's very passionate about making video games.
Like a bro dude.
Like a bro dude.
A bro dude?
A bro dude.
That's like a man-child. It's another word for a man-child. A bro dude.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how bro-y he is. Like, I don't see him, like, chest bumping with anybody.
Are you kidding me?
But maybe.
I see him fist explode. Fist pump explode.
Bumping.
I see that.
Fist bump explode.
Yeah, you know where they go.
Yeah, that's what the kids call it. Fist bump explode.
Yeah, I can see him.
Fist bump explode.
Well,
I think there's a better name for it.
That's a better name for it, right?
No.
What's it called?
Just a fist bump.
What about when you go?
That's just something you do. It doesn't have a name.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Oh.
No one's like, hey, bro, fist bump explode me. However, episode might be called Fist Bump Explode now.
That's pretty. Either regardless, fist bumping is a pretty broy thing to do.
I almost wish we sold a shirt that said Fist Bump Explode.
We can make one right now.
That's pretty good. We might.
See what I did?
I should write that down.
Write it down.
So one of the bullet points that really matters is he says it'll take 6 to 8 hours to finish. Only 10 people worked on the game, which I thought was interesting.
Well, later in development, it ramped up to 40, though.
Yeah. But Brothers, their first game, was only 12 people.
Right.
He says a bunch of other stuff that doesn't really matter. He does acknowledge that EA's had its fair share of issues, but he seems to be pretty cool with them.
Yeah, he seems to have not a bad thing to say about EA.
Mm-hmm. And I think this is not a full price game.
I don't think it is either, but I think it's going to run like $39.99.
That is not in the bullet points they provided. It's like a bunch of facts. It's like someone's like, hey, come up with 12 facts. And that's
yeah.
Except for they came from him.
Yeah,
which is strange. But really, the only reason I put this story on there is because we talked about being on the fence about buying it right away, but now that we know it's a 6 to 8 hour game, it feels like something we might could finish.
Yeah, we might be able to get through it.
So
I would imagine it's probably going to be similar to that VR thing, where it's probably going to take longer your first time.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Than 6 to 8 hours, but you could probably finish it quicker. So,
yeah.
I don't know. I've always wanted to break out of prison. I just never wanted to go to prison first.
Yeah, I like that concept, and I like the time period, definitely.
Yeah, it's got an awesome look to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait to be in that world, but I might have to wait to be in that world because Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves, yeah, me too.
Mm-hmm. Like, I'm really excited about A Way Out. I think Brothers is I think this is a awesome next step, a huge next step to go from Brothers to this. I think the co-op, though, is make or break for that game.
I'll tell you
if it's not good.
I'll tell you what's nice about A Way Out is they're not bombarding you with information about it, but every time they do let something out, I'm more excited for the game. That's
right.
Marketing done right.
Speaking of marketing done right, Fortnite. They can't mess up right now.
No, they're just making those good decisions all across the board.
Yep.
So in case you thought Fortnite couldn't be more popular than it already is, Drake decided to play Fortnite on Twitch with Ninja.
Not only Drake, though.
What's that?
Not only Drake. He had Travis Scott and Juju Smith-Schuster on there also.
Right.
What he said.
How many of those people do you know, Dan?
Drake and Ninja.
Yeah.
Wait, Travis Scott, you said?
Yeah.
I know Travis Scott. Who was the other one?
Juju Smith-Schuster.
He's a football player.
Yeah. Rookie for the Steelers.
No, I don't know him.
So, Ninja already massively popular.
Especially in the Fortnite community.
Maybe the most popular streamer in the Fortnite community already.
He makes like $750,000 a month, by the way.
Yeah.
But he does a lot of
barely getting by.
Philanthropic things with it, so.
Right. So he's streaming Fortnite, joined by those lovely individuals who are massively popular, and that stream gets 600,000 views.
That's a lot.
For Twitch, that is insane. Like insane. The previous record was 400,000. So, not even in the same universe.
No, not even close.
That's the power of celebrities and a game that everyone is playing.
Yeah, this is huge. It's
like no one would like if Martha Stewart tweeted that she got a win in Fortnite. I would believe it for some reason.
Because of course she's playing Fortnite because everyone else is.
Everyone else is, and I can't even. I think some of these things started as like paid sponsorships. Of saying, hey, maybe not tweet out that you won, but hey, play our game.
But over time, it's gotten organic to the point where video games and celebrities, they realize the effect they can have on each other, so why not get involved?
Absolutely.
I'm just going to play Fortnite, and I'm going to Twitch it out, and I'm going to become popular, and this game's going to become popular.
Twitch it out. I don't think people say that either.
Twitch it out.
All the celebrities play Fortnite now.
Yeah, I know.
Little Yachty.
Even
write that one down, too, by the way.
Even people that I would not consider celebrities play that game. That are like low-level celebrities play that game.
Yeah.
Basically everybody plays that game.
Right. Yeah. And now with Fortnite Mobile, it's going to be even worse.
Are gonna be playing it.
I signed up for that. I got the email confirmation, but I haven't got it yet.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Are you really going to play it? It's going to control so horribly.
Maybe not.
No, it's going to.
And I think you hook a controller to it also.
It's going to control horribly.
It'll be fine.
I'd have to agree with you on that.
It's going to be slower.
I think it's going to be pretty bad.
No, they said it's the same experience, and everyone who's playing it says it's good.
You're going to have the guy in the console or PC is going to be shooting like this, and you're going to be going like this. Oh, I
don't think so. I don't think so.
I want you to stream it out. I want to see. I need you to prove it to me.
I don't know how I can do that, but I'll give a testimonial once I get it.
Okay, yeah, a testimonial.
Some people call it a review. I'm going to call it a testimonial because I'm not going to be scoring it at the end.
Make sure you Twitch it out.
Yeah, Twitch it out when I do fist bump bang. What'd you call it? Fist bump explode. Yeah.
Fist bump explode.
Yeah, I think people just call that fist bump, and then people do other things on the end.
See, that's not a thing we did when I was in school. Our thing was the psych. That was our thing.
That was still going on when I was a kid. That's a douchebag move now, though.
Yeah.
Like, if you rolled up to somebody now and were like, psych, you would be an asshole.
You were an asshole then when you did it, too. But it was different.
Was it? Was it, though?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was only different because everyone was doing it.
Right.
I guess that makes it a little better.
Yeah, because everyone was doing
fist bump, explode.
The fist bump though was a thing as I was like exiting high school. It was a thing. We were fist bumping.
Oh, that was never a thing when I was in school.
Yeah, I miss it. Just a good firm handshake though.
Mm-hmm. It's too
That's
slow.
what you do now.
Give me an elbow.
Or where you'd miss the high five and then come around the backside and smack.
Boom. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good move too. I think that still happens.
Yeah.
You know what else in the
I
late?
confirm that
yeah, see, I knew that still happens.
Yeah?
The high five miss, like to the back high five, will never go away.
The late 80s, early 90s, secret handshakes were a big thing.
Oh, yeah, where you had like friend handshakes?
Yeah. They still are now.
Does that still happen?
Oh, yeah.
Secret handshakes?
A lot of them have gone viral. You didn't see, like, the college basketball coach. He did it with every single one of his players.
No, I'm not talking about, like...
It's still a thing.
I'm talking about, like, just two stupid people who are friends walking through their school doing their secret handshakes.
Yeah, that's how it happens, but now it blows up.
Yeah, definitely. And they think they're so cool.
You smack your shoe, and then you jump into
smack
a thumb war, and you slide around. Yeah. Yeah. Those are still happening.
Do two claps. shake,
as long as you're like containing children into like one building and giving them too much time, secret handshakes will be a thing.
All right, I guess I'll give you that.
Yeah,
you're still full enough of life to want to do something like that. If a grown up to you now walked up to you and said, "Hey, let's do a secret handshake," you'd be like, "No, go back to work."
You think fifth graders still create like air quotes gangs?
yeah.
Where they like draw pictures and call themselves the Black Widows and talk about the cool jackets they're gonna get. Do they still do that?
Maybe a little. Everybody's one gang now. It's just Fortnite. That's what it is.
Everybody's just a big Fortnite player?
That's all that is talked about in school. It's Fortnite.
So as someone who still has their pulse on youth, is Fortnite more popular than PUBG?
Yeah, definitely.
That's interesting.
But if you had to pay for Fortnite, I think PUBG would be more popular.
So you think it's because it's free?
Yep, definitely.
Because people prefer the first person over the third person, probably.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Third person in PUBG kind of janky.
PUBG kind of janky.
Yeah. That's what makes that game kind of special, though. If that game is perfect, I don't think it's as good. So here's my concern. There's a story I didn't pull. PUBG announced they're going to do a much smaller map.
Mm-hmm.
Like much smaller. Which to me feels like a reaction to both people saying that matches take too long and also to Fortnite.
Yeah, without a doubt. PUBG is losing their popularity. They're having to make shifts to kind of become, gain the spotlight again. But I don't think that becoming more like Fortnite is the answer.
No, because part of what I think makes PUBG special is the uneasy feeling, the tension.
The wide open space.
The fact that you could play a whole match and not see anybody.
In Fortnite, you're going to run into an enemy combatant fairly quickly.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
And when you're playing PUBG, you don't know when that's going to happen.
Oh, you're nervous. You never feel good about any situation in PUBG. And in Fortnite, it's to me, it's more laid back. And I think it's more than just the art. I just think that game is set up to where you will experience combat.
Yeah, Fortnite is much more battle royale for the run and gun crowd,
right?
Whereas PUBG is kind of more of a tense experience. It's meant to be a tense. It's not meant to be run and gun. It's supposed to be long moments of uneasiness and wariness and keeping track of what's going on and paying attention with 10, 15 seconds of gunplay, splitting that up here and there.
But my fear is a smaller map is going to feel more like Fortnite, and then that's all people are going to want to play, which changes the whole dynamic of that game.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think if it tries to go head-to-head, I think it'll lose.
It'll still lose, yeah.
I think it has to lean more into what it's already doing and that uneasy feeling.
I agree with that.
And they got to get off of just Xbox only.
I agree with that 100%.
They got to get on PS4.
Yep.
Definitely.
They got to be not broken also.
Yeah. Unbroken, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really bad on the Xbox. They got to fix that.
But no, yeah, I agree with you.
Epic's incredible with what they do with Fortnite, too. They update like every day.
Yeah, they're constantly just doing stuff. And every weekend they're adding new items or different things. They're just constantly...
Different modes.
They're constantly... And even if it's something that the player never actually sees, they're constantly adding something new to the game to keep the player wanting to see it.
Yeah, they've done like 5 or 6 limited modes at this point where they pop in and go away. They're constantly adding new weapons, new skins, new back bling.
Back bling, that's right.
They're constantly adding stuff, and I think that goes a long way. You can't escape Fortnite. It's in every news story everywhere.
Yeah, it's...
And Epic, they're shutting down stuff as fast as they can to put more people on it.
Right.
But it's really cool. Like they have a forum section where people talk about things they'd like to see implemented, and it feels like 2 weeks later they're implementing it. Yeah, like they really seem to care what the community says.
Or putting something in to move towards that. Yeah, I agree with that.
So, Fortnite, you heard it here first. Popular in schools.
Okay, you heard it here first. That's right. Nobody knew.
More popular than Fortnite in stores, potentially, though, only because it's free.
Yes.
More popular than PUBG, I should say.
Yeah.
Yes.
It would be interesting to see if they launched at the same time with the same price tag, what would have naturally...
naturally occurred. I think you would
Where
have
it's not
seen
this-
two... I think you would have seen each with a separate style of audience.
Yeah. I don't know. They had a Nintendo Direct last week, and Nintendo's going to have another presentation this week. This time they're going to show off more of their Nindies, which is what they like to call their indie games for the Nintendo platform.
It's a cute name, though. It fits.
It is a cute name. Tuesday, March 20th. So if you're not playing Sea of Thieves at 9 a.m. Pacific time, 12 Eastern, then you can watch the Nindies Showcase. This is the second Nindy Showcase I think they've done. I don't think they're calling it that, though.
The Nindies Showcase? No, they just pretty much call it like a presentation,
No,
don't
no,
they?
they are calling it that. They are calling it the
It's a
Nindies
Nindy?
Showcase.
Nindies Showcase?
That is a good
Yep.
word, Nindy.
Yeah.
Nindy. Yeah, it's a cute
it
word.
rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, it's almost like
Yeah.
a murmur.
Nindies
It's
is
really
okay.
easy to say.
Nindy.
So I'm of two feelings when I say Nindies. Part of me is like, this is gross marketing, and then part of me is like, I kind of like it.
I'm leaning firmly into I like it.
Nindy.
Speaking of gross marketing, I picked up some Super Mario Odyssey cereal this week.
Oh, no.
For two reasons.
How's that stuff?
It's fine. It's cereal. It's like everything else. It's basically Lucky Charms.
Oh, yeah. I figured,
But,
actually.
So it is these star-shaped things that are the cereal. They look more like starfish out of the water, though, than they do like stars. Maybe they're like sunbursts. I don't know what the hell they are. It's those things, and then there's Mario marshmallows, question blocks, and things like that. And it tastes just like Lucky Charms. But the reason I purchased this cereal is not because I love Mario or because I needed more cereal. It's because the box is an amiibo.
Oh, my God. That's genius and gross.
And
You're
I was
right.
like,
That's
this is
pretty
the most
gross.
disgusting and effective marketing that I have seen in a long time. Because it's not just an amiibo. Or it is, but it says, buy this box, scan it, and you'll get a special surprise in Mario Odyssey. And I'm like, I got to know what that is.
Do you know what it is yet? No?
Yeah, it's just like any other amiibo you scan into Mario Odyssey. It just, like, the toad that is in Mario Odyssey will just go find or attempt to find a moon on the map somewhere for you, which is what happens when you scan any amiibo that doesn't give you a new costume. All I could think in the back of my mind is I'm going to get a Mario cereal costume for Mario. Like he would wear a box of cereal. That's all I can think.
That's probably not what's going to happen.
No, so you scan it, and all it does is tell you a location of a moon like any other one would. The only thing different is he says, what a delicious amiibo. Which was both creepy and kind of fun. But I felt super dirty for buying this because it worked so well on me.
Yeah, I bet
I made a
it
special trip to Walmart at 7:00 at night.
I bet it wore off after time. The grossness wore off.
I don't know. I still feel pretty yucky about it, but I would buy it again. And now I got to cut out that little patch of the box with a sticker on the inside so that I always have the cereal amiibo.
Yeah.
Because I don't have room to keep the whole box.
You do have to do that.
Also, like, cereal's like $4 a box, and it's a tiny box. Have you seen, like, the small boxes of cereal?
Uh-huh. Oh, my God.
It's one of those. Yeah. It's really small. That's going to do it for the news.
That's it.
That's it. Now it's time for my oldest, favorite, newest segment, where we reach back in our gaming past. We tell you about a game that we love, that we hope you love, and we want you to look back at that game fondly, maybe watch a YouTube video, and if you have it, play it. Now, this week, because Tristyn, you're our special guest, we're going to let you do the Gone But Not Forgotten. But I need the listeners to keep in mind his age.
Yeah. 15.
So, yeah. Dan's Gone But Not Forgotten probably drastically different because
I got a lot more shit to pull from.
Right. And I don't know what this is. This is going to be news for me.
Oh, this game it's now my new standard. It's Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
Oh, that is a great game.
I love that game. I was young, 5 to like 7 probably, something like that. And it wasn't even my game, it was my brother's game. And so I'd go in his room and sneak it out, put it in the PlayStation 2, close it up, and just sit there while he wasn't home and Play a ton of it. I love that game. I would always be playing it.
It seems right that the game that you would have to sneak is Grand Theft Auto.
Right.
Like, that seems fitting for Grand Theft Auto, that's the one you'd have to be like, I hope no one catches me.
Yeah, definitely.
So, were you playing it when it was like, when did it come out?
99, I think. It was before I was born, I'm pretty sure. Before
That's crazy.
2002. Unless I'm wrong.
I'm going to Google that real quick.
That's crazy on its own, just that you might not have been born.
And I just checked here. It actually came out in 2004, but I believe, and I should probably Google this too, but I'm not going to. I believe that GTA Vice City came out in 99, so that might be your confusion.
That's probably it.
I think it's really funny that you say that it's the first game that made you feel like a grown up. It just goes back to when you're a kid, you want to feel grown up. When you're grown up, you want to feel like a kid.
Yeah.
And it's funny that video games seem to do it for me and Ryan, and video games did it for you on opposite ends of the spectrum. That's what we call a confluent synergy. That's what I'm going with. That seems like a thing. So I've decided it is.
It was great. It made me feel like I could just do whatever.
You could just do whatever you wanted to.
I entered a cheat code, which took me a week to learn.
Oh, you had a cheat code.
I had the book. I stole the book with the game. I was smart enough to do that.
So here I want to give the Grand Theft Auto, the first one was 97. Grand Theft Auto was 01. Vice City was 2002. San Andreas 2004.
Okay.
Just so no one tries to tell us, oh, I'm an expert in Grand Theft Auto.
Yes.
You got your dates all wrong.
It's not the first date I got wrong.
Because it's the internet, and that's how they are.
I know. It's not the first date I got wrong, I promise.
Yeah. So, that's a great game. You should play it if you haven't played. That's this week's Gone But Not Forgotten. And remember, if you have one for us, hit us up on Twitter at @game_stitch using the hashtag GBNF. Gone But Not Forgotten.
Or as I like to call it, Gabunif.
Yeah. That's how it's said. That checks out.
Just like the Imdaba.
Yeah. Just like that.
That one doesn't really roll off the tongue as good.
What, Imdaba?
No.
Gibbenif.
Or Gabunif?
Gibbenif.
Oh, it does me. It rolls right off my tongue.
Gibbenif.
I don't even use my tongue. You can say it without using your tongue.
Gibbenif. Yeah, you could say it without a tongue.
Gibbenif.
I don't know the nuf. You need your tongue for that part.
No, you don't.
Gibbenif.
Yeah, that was really natural the way you said it there.
Well, because I'm also like
But yeah, I
biting
don't know why
down
you're
on my
clenching your
tongue
teeth.
so it
That wasn't
doesn't
part
move.
of the.
If I actually didn't have a tongue, it'd probably roll really sweetly.
Not off the tongue though, because you wouldn't have one.
That's why I said it would just roll really sweetly.
Is that what you say when you don't have a tongue? It doesn't roll off the tongue; it just rolls.
Yeah.
Rolls out of my mouth.
Right, it just rolls right out of my mouth.
Rolls across my lips.
Your lips.
My lips.
Lips. Now, talking without lips, I think harder than talking without a tongue.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. No doubt.
Now it's time for this week's shout out. Remember, if you want a shout out, all you have to do is head over to patreon.com and subscribe at the $10 tier, and you get a shout out each and every week, whether you give us one or not.
Yes.
So we've got 2 shout outs this week. Dan, I think you have one for Garrett.
I have one for Garrett. He tweets out at us. Last week he talked about his friend that Ryan and I still can't decide on the pronunciation of. He says it's Topher. I say it's Toffer. But anyway, in reference to that, Garrett says, follow/watch Man Bear Hulk. That is a name on Mixer. Follow/watch Man Bear Hulk stream on Mixer. New to the streaming world and a joy to watch. AKA my buddy Topher/Toffer.
Yeah. His name's not Topher/Toffer. We just are disagreement on.
Yeah, that's just going with the disagreement, right?
Yeah.
But maybe maybe he prefers Topher/Toffer. You don't know.
That's true. He could. Mixer, really simple, really easy to use. So just download it to your phone, tablet, whatever, and search for his username there. Check him out. Friend of Garrett's a friend of ours.
That is capital MAN, capital BEAR, capital HULK. Man Bear Hulk. No spaces, no underscores, all one word.
So, Thomas is super, super pumped about Sea of Thieves, and we wanted to try to have him do something to get everyone else hyped for it because he's really hyped for it. But it didn't work out with the time frame we were in, so we decided we would just tweet a video that he sent out to us. So check our Twitter for that. I don't know the name of the video. You know the name of the video?
I do not know the name of the video. I know it's basically like all the things you need to know about Sea of Thieves before, or all the things they've shown you about Sea of Thieves before you play it.
Right.
So especially if you're someone who's not sure about this, has been paying full attention, just doesn't know, maybe try checking that out and see what all it offers.
I'm trying to see if I can get the name of this actual video for those that... You know what? I'll just put the link in the show notes.
There you go.
To the video. And check that out. And everything you need to know about Sea of Thieves, which is posted by Sea of Thieves.
See what
it's
you did
8 minutes and 28 seconds, and I'll put that in the show notes. But click on that and join us in the open seas tomorrow.
Sailing the open seas tomorrow.
I have to get Xbox Live, and I have to get Games Pass.
I have Live. I have to get Games Pass.
I think I may do that today.
I'm thinking I might too.
Also, I need to update my Xbox really bad.
I'm sure.
It's been a hot minute.
Yeah, hopefully, if you turn it on now, it might be updated by Tuesday.
It's plugged up to power. It's still not even plugged up to... it doesn't even have an HDMI cord in it right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so...
What a waste.
We'll get that rolling. That's it for shout-outs. Remember, you can get one over at patreon.com/Gamestitch. Be sure to follow us on the social medias. I am at Podcast Ryan. Dan is at Shirtless Dan. Together we are Game_Stitch. Tristyn, do you have a social media you want to talk about?
No, not really.
Okay. I know how the kids are.
It's private over here.
Yeah, I know how the kids are now with the snaps.
Well, some are, but apparently he's not. Apparently he just doesn't want strangers knowing all his information.
With the snaps and the grams.
Maybe I could put my Instagram on there.
Yeah, the gram. People like the gram.
You going to use the Instagram? I thought people didn't like Instagram anymore, because didn't they say something about slapping Rihanna or something?
Well, maybe they won't follow me then. Maybe I can remain private.
Tell me this. What's this Rihanna story?
Maybe it was Snapchat, but it was somebody, Instagram or Snapchat, that had a game on there where it was like slap Rihanna or something. And so Rihanna...
That seems insensitive.
Yeah, so anyway, Rihanna tweeted out that whichever one it was fucking sucks, or that is not what she said, but that's basically what came of it. And
right. You're paraphrasing.
Yeah, and all of a sudden they immediately lost like $80 million.
Yeah, sounds right.
But I can't remember the ins and outs of it. Do you even use your Instagram?
Me?
Yeah. Like, no? Is that why you're giving it to people? That's what Ryan does.
I'm not gonna answer that.
Yeah, I don't use anything. So
I can neither confirm nor deny.
So are you giving this Instagram?
Yep. T_Moyer21.
P_Moyer21.
T_Moyer.
T is in Tango.
That makes more sense. T_Moyer21. Not 21 years old, though. Fake account.
A real account. Fake age.
Yeah. I see what you're doing there. I'm a grown-up.
I just like how 21 rolls off the tongue.
21.
No, I get it because it rolls out of the mouth because you're an adult.
Okay.
Yeah. Follow him on Instagram, and be sure to check out their new show when it comes out, and we'll make sure you have all the information as we get closer. But Generation Cult?
Yep. It's possible we'll be doing something special for Patreons, too. So
patrons, for the Patreons out there. For the Patreons out there.
I'm just rolling with them today, huh?
Yeah. Thanks for all being Patreons out there.
Fist bump explode.
Yeah, fist bump explode. I like that. That sounds like a shitty band.
Fist bump explode.
Yeah, like the opening band for somebody that's okay is like fist bump explode.
Yeah. Like Blink 182 featuring Fist Bump Explode.
Like three kids in their garage.
Coming to Dome Arena near you.
Yeah, they all fist bump before they start. That's how the show starts.
They fist bump explode.
Yeah, pyrotechnics go off. Yeah. Also, follow us on YouTube, youtube.com/Gamestitch. You need to follow us, subscribe to us, but you also need to hit that little notifications bell so you know every time we go live, because we don't know when we're going live.
True.
So it's very hard for us to give you any heads up. So do yourself a favor and keep up with us on there for our streams.
And I think, Ryan, you went live once this week already, or once this month already, right?
Oh, yeah. So I streamed Kerbal. I talked about it forever. I finally streamed Kerbal. And I found the problem with streaming Kerbal is that everyone is a authority on Kerbal.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I played Kerbal.
Everybody jumped in and told me what I was doing wrong. And I'm like, cool, I'm just streaming this game because I like it. They're like, yeah, hit T, hit T, hit T. I'm like, I'm on PS4, so stop saying that. There's no T. Okay, we're not even playing on the same platform.
The closest thing I have to a T is a circle.
I did get some good
confused
feedback.
as an O.
So I didn't even know this. This is how much of a rookie I am at Kerbal. I kept taking off and trying to fly to the moon.
Me too.
Yeah, apparently that's not what you do. You have to get in orbit, then slingshot around to the moon, then slingshot around there to wherever else you want to go. It's all about getting in orbits.
I run out of fuel, and they all die.
See, that's what I'm doing.
Every time.
Yeah. We're doing it wrong. You never fly in a straight line because you're just trying to get in the orbit, let the gravity slam you around.
Yeah, that actually makes sense. That was in Deep Impact, Armageddon, one of them where they got a slingshot around.
Yeah. So that's what you have to do in this game. And somebody jumped in the comments and was like, "You're doing it wrong, bro. You can't fly straight anywhere."
They broed?
I don't know if they called me bro, but that's the vibe I got when they said it. He was also the guy who kept telling me to hit T. He was very nice. He wasn't rude, but he was like, maybe practice is the vibe I got.
Got it.
But I just wanted to show people what Kerbal looks like. And we made it pretty far. Actually, we got in like the orbit of the sun twice.
Really?
Which is too far. I'm not trying to go that far.
Who's we?
But also there's me and everybody watching. We're family here.
We are family.
So, yeah, the Kerbal's up. Check it out now. And we'll probably try to squeeze in one more before the month's out if I can get time, because Dan's busy with the new show and whatnot.
I'm going to try to, but I'm barely having time to just play, much less stream.
You always got to make time.
Yeah, you got to make time.
Yeah, well, I have a job.
Write it down.
Write it down. Yeah, make a list. Schedule for
okay,
says the responsible.
Yeah, plan your day, Dan. Plan your day.
I'm not responsible at all, but I know what I need to do in order to be responsible.
Yeah, plan your day. This has been episode 270 of the official Gamestitch Podcast. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for being here, Tristyn.
It was great being here. Thank you for having me.
And check out their new show when it launches. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.